Welcome back to Remain Rome Return, everybody. We are having some technical difficulties right off the bat, which I love at this point. It's a good test of willpower, but today we have with us a returner to the podcast, not a returner.
Not in the sense of the title of the podcast, but a returner as like someone who's been on the podcast before and now is making a reappearance. Reappearer.
Welcome back,
sounds like
Luke.
a magician.
Yeah, the reappearer. Welcome
hey
back,
guys.
Luke,
How are we doing? Yeah, good to see you guys. Hopefully we're here.
Yeah,
we're here for now, and
We're
that's
here
all
for
that
now,
matters.
exactly.
All we have is the present.
That is very true.
So we wanted to have you back on because last time we had you on, you were doing your one new song for every month of the year in 2025.
Yeah.
And now it's 2026, and I want to see how that turned out for you.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out quite well. I mean, we got all the songs done, so that's always a bonus.
There you
go.
go.
Good.
That's always a good thing. And now it's just on to the next thing. As with everything, it's one thing to the next, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it went quite well.
So what is next then?
At the moment, we're kind of closing out this all the releases we did last year, but we've taken a lot of them down, and we're re-releasing a bunch on this kind of EP, which we're kind of getting together now. So hopefully it will. Hopefully soon we'll have some sort of EP, which is kind of more of a collection of what we did over the year and our favorite bits, basically.
Okay,
awesome.
I gotta ask. I've always heard. I feel like a dummy asking this question, considering how much I like. What is the difference between an EP and an album?
I'll be honest, I don't really know. An EP, I guess, to me, in my head, is shorter. An album's like longer, and an EP is shorter. Why? I don't quite know. But
I think, does it stand for like exclusive press from like back when like records were like an actual thing? Maybe.
I have no idea. I thought it was like extended play or something like that, but I could be completely wrong. So,
I'm sure. What does it stand for?
EP Phone Home.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, so how many of the songs from 2025 are going on the album then?
I think it's 7 or 8. We've got like a new little interlude thing. So we kind of, me and my producer Colin worked quite hard in working out the track listing for it, and how to make it kind of flow from one to the next as more of a kind of EP album kind of piece. So then we added in this little interlude, or he did, which is just me on one of the thousands of voice notes I've sent him with new songs over the past year and a half that he's put through a tape machine. So yeah, I think it's 8 or something like that. I don't really know. We'll have to find out, won't we?
Okay. So 8 from 2025 and is it going to be a 12 album track?
No, it's just the 8. No, yeah. So it's just the 8 from the EP from the year, because we've decided that we're gonna some of the songs that we did last year weren't our favorite and kind of don't really fit with the vibe we're going for, so we kind of decided to take them down completely. Am I gone completely? Uh-oh.
Oh. I think you're back now. I think you left off talking about why it was 8 and not 12.
Right. I'll start again. We did 8 because some of the songs we weren't really a fan of from the 12, so have decided to just change it up and take them off, basically.
That's awesome. So what was it like recording at Abbey Road?
Oh, it was really cool. So we didn't record there, but we mastered the EP there. So it was only a day we spent there, but it's the coolest experience possible. Just walking in the gates and walking in the front door was just quite cool, and you can see all the photos from past, people who have recorded there and done stuff there, all up the walls. Like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos. Just like you got the Beatles, you got Oasis, you got like I don't know, Harry Styles, all that kind of stuff who have been there. Just pictures of them everywhere, it's just really cool. And just being in that room was quite nice. And we made a day of it in London, getting some content as well. So quite a good day, yeah.
How did that happen? It's not like for us. It sounds like Abbey Road. Like is it hard to get like book time? Or is it a thing where it's like I got, I don't know, $10. What can I get?
Well, it was all of the songs from 2025 were mastered at Abbey Road anyways. But we sent them off to this amazing mastering engineer called Cicely, and they mastered all the songs at Abbey Road. So all the songs in 2025 were done at Abbey Road, but we decided when we were doing the EP that we wanted to kind of get in there for the day. So Colin, my producer, just said, "Oh, why don't we book to do the mastering session and just go in and actually sit in the room whilst it's being done." So that's basically it. And it's just through Colin, my producer, knowing people who know people who know people. So it's great.
That's really cool.
Did it have a feeling in there? Like, did it have a sense of the history, or was it just another kind of studio?
Oh no, 100%. There's something special about that place. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's just being in that space is very, I left it feeling very like inspired and very like, oh yeah, cool. I want to really try and now push properly. So yeah, it definitely had a sort of, feeling and vibe to it, which was definitely quite nice for a musician.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I go to like historical venues, like when I went to the Chicago Bulls place where they play, the United Center, you could you could feel it when you walked in there. So I was like,
100%.
And kind of the Roman Colosseum was kind of the same thing. You walk in there and you just feel like, oh, this, I know it's important in history, but I can feel that it was important in history. So I was curious.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. No, yeah, there's loads. I mean, even like, I'm not big into football stadiums around here. Like, I went to Wembley, I think, with my school, and it's the exact same thing. It's like you kind of feel the history and like what people must be feeling as they're going out to, I don't know, a football match or do whatever at Wembley Stadium. What they can feel, you kind of like you said, kind of feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Did you go outside and use the crosswalk?
No, we didn't use the well, we did, as like we had to use it to get across the road, but we didn't do the photo. But there's hundreds of people there at all time, taking photos at the crossing. But we just had to use it as a crossing.
You literally had to use it as
exactly
intended purpose as a.
I know, yeah. Oh no, for sure. But there were so many people there.
Use the 9 3/4 train platform.
Exactly. Just to get
and
going.
It transported you to the underground bunker that you're recording from, which is why your internet's so bad.
I know, exactly. I don't know. I mean,
he's actually in the Churchill bunker.
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. To be fair, I'm moving back home soon. That's I'm going to be return on the Rome return. So I'm going to be returning. I've done the Rome, and now I'm going to return and maybe remain. So I guess we'll see.
I knew he was a returner.
You just knew it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because
are you in the London metro area at the moment?
I'm in East Sussex, which is like an hour or hour and a half out of London, really, on a train. And I've been up here for the last year or so, but now I'm going into full-time music from next month. So I'm leaving my job and moving back down to kind of just drive around and play shows, hopefully.
Yeah, because you're doing is it an official tour for 2026?
Well, I've got 4 shows booked in with this kind of touring company called Campervan Live Lounge, and they play like their own little shows across the country. So I've got a few shows with them booked in, and then I've got some things booked in hopefully going to be booked in for the end of the year, which I'm kind of yet to confirm and like get all the details sorted. Yeah, loads of live shows this year is the main plan, to get out in front of real people, because I feel like I haven't done that enough since starting this solo kind of project. So I want to get in front of the real people as opposed to the social media massively, but it's quite tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah. What was the catalyst to finally be like, hey, because me and Damien joke about it all the time, like, we would love to do this podcast full time, but we are very not much as talented as you are with music as we are with podcasting. About like eventually, like, we would love to be able to do this full time and like not have to do our office jobs, but it sounds like you made that decision. So like, was there something that happened where you're like, okay, I'm going to make the leap of faith a bit?
Well, to be honest, it's like I'm going to be making way less money than what I am. I'm going to be probably in a lot of debt, but it's I think I realized that I'm still like young. Like I'm 19 and I'm like, I don't want to get bogged down in my full-time job
Mhm.
this early. And with the progress that I've been making with my music, I was like, I might as well go now and do it now rather than, I'll be putting time into my music but only have like 50% of the energy for it.
Yeah.
I'd rather put like, 90 to 100% energy into my music and just like go for it I'm going to try it for the first year. If it goes really tits up in the first year, then I can find work again. But I'm hoping that there'll be some sort of thing which just means I can carry on kind of building and kind of slowly living off my music, which would be good. But it's just that one little thing to happen this year to keep it going. But yeah, I don't know.
So when you're planning this tour, because of what you said, where you're kind of taking this risk to take a year and be like, all right, kind of make or break here. Are
Hmm.
you budgeting a certain amount of dollars per day? Like, do you know, are you
They
staying
use
in,
pounds.
oh
Damien.
yeah, pounds a
Yeah.
day? And do you, like, what is your plan? Are you staying in hotels or hostels or van life, or
I
how's
mean,
that gonna work?
I'm kind of in the early stage of kind of sorting everything out for the year. I mean, I'm very interested in getting like a little like caddy van, like a small van, and just getting a little bed in the back and just using that to drive around and sleep in that. I'm lucky I've got family and friends all across the country, so I can crash with a lot of people and sofa surf for a bit. But I mean, in terms of budgeting, that's just like, well, I do that now, and I'm in a full-time job. There's so many expenses with music, like even just like the mastering and recording videos and all sorts. There's so much money going out and not a lot of money coming in that I'm having to constantly make adjustments. I think it's going to be one of those things this year of trial and error, maybe making a bit of a loss, but it's that long term game really, and it's trying to set myself up for a bit of longevity in music, which is tricky, but I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. Really.
No, and I think you're doing it like you were talking about. You're 19, and like me and Damien also going back to us joking about wanting to do this. Like you don't have to worry about a mortgage or keeping a house or like me and Damien we set up ourselves for failure with this because we have too much life. I have a baby now. It's like, well,
Really? Oh wow!
gotta
Congratulations.
feed him.
Yeah, that's mad. That is the other thing. I'm very kind of I'm in a nice position in terms of my financial life. So why not utilize that while I can? Really.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, okay, you're still young, you're emerging into this business. It kind of feels like, why wouldn't I go for it? I mean, literally go for broke at this point, right? Because
Hmm.
you're young enough to, whether it's successful or whether it isn't as successful
Yeah.
as you'd like it to be, you can pivot from there because you're young enough. You can, like you said, you can always go find another job,
Hmm.
and you can still make music even while you're working a job like that. But
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between like what we're doing, what you're doing, where it's like you really have, first of all, the talent to actually go somewhere, unlike
Oh,
us, but
thank you
also
very much.
the fact of like you can shift and be adaptable to where it's like we can't just throw all of our eggs into a basket because we
Mhm.
will lose our house.
Also,
Yeah.
though, shout out to the UK of like you can still have health insurance
That's
versus
true.
here in the States.
This is true. This is true.
Half people have like the reason you have a job for the most is so you have health insurance.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that is
Damien
quite
works
true.
for a hospital, so that's also the
Oh
fun.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
look, cool.
yeah. I work in the insurance business for the hospital, so it
Oh,
is
really?
full of just watching people, come upon hard times, and just the lack of empathy that the society in the U.S. has shown for that kind of
Yeah.
stuff is terrible.
Yeah, is it mad? I mean,
I do.
I don't know anything about it, but it seems a bit mental.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's like if you ever watch the show Breaking Bad, the whole premise of it is that he gets cancer, so he has to make money. And I've seen like a funny meme where it's like, "Oh, Breaking Bad takes place in the UK." He's like, "I have cancer," and the NHS is like, "Yep, that's covered."
Yeah, you're good. No problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've never actually watched Breaking Bad. Maybe I should watch it.
100% recommend.
It's a
Really?
good one. It's sad though.
Is it?
It's sad,
Right,
but
okay.
It's very good. For a while there, I had like on like Rotten Tomato or IMDb had like one of the top scores
Oh, really?
ever of any television show. So
It could be a
Oh,
good thing
sick.
to binge watch while you're on tour, honestly.
Potentially, yeah. With all my spare time off, I might have to just find loads of series to watch.
While you're driving your van, you can have it on in the background.
Well, yeah. I don't know if that's the safest option, but maybe I'll give it a try.
See, this is why you're going to be successful, because you actually think these things through. I just do this stupid shit.
watching TV while you drive.
I regularly, allegedly, have YouTube on while I'm driving.
I've seen it happen in London. So I've been driving on the motorway and just driven past a car that's just watching like football on their phone, not paying any attention to the road, and they suddenly swerve, and I'm like, oh no.
That's
They
like
must
the
have missed.
most British thing ever of just being like on the M4 watching like football.
I know. I mean, and then they don't actually realise until they start swerving and then suddenly get beeped by somebody else.
You got to block that shit. That's awesome.
Oh, it's
So,
mad.
with the places you have booked so far, are you mostly staying in the South? Or are you going like everywhere?
I mean,
on the
with
island?
with the kind of hopeful tour that I'm getting, it's with a company who do who kind of they'll sort it all out, but it will be across the whole country, hopefully. But it'll be a thing of 1 week in one area and then another week in another area, and doing lots of shows in that one area. And it's hopefully one of those things is going to build up more of a social following, but also a social following of people who will actually come and see me play live. Because I've not got a bad social following at all, but half the people on my TikTok, probably live in America, live in other countries, and won't come and see me live in London or whatever. I mean, I'm also very lucky that from TikTok, I had a hometown show, and I think it was 3 or 4 people came from like 3+ hours away to my hometown to come and see me play.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's just from seeing me on TikTok, which is amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. But I'm hoping to get a bit more of a social following that will come and see me play live in their area as well.
Yeah, I guess have you seen success from like social media? Is that now such a huge part of the music industry, or like I don't want to say where it's almost like equal to your time for the music, like writing the music, but would you say like social media is now a big part of like what it takes to be successful?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you see a lot of artists nowadays who their social media presence is basically their whole career. Like some artists don't even play many shows, but they'll do all their money will be through TikTok, and it's but they're still charting, all their songs are charting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, or it's just the viral thing on TikTok where they will have one video get millions and millions of views, and then they're suddenly the biggest artist in the world. But it does kind of, you've got to put time into it. I don't, which isn't great. But the one thing I do put time into is I do TikTok lives, and they're the one thing that has brought me the most kind of new followers who are actually interested in my music. Because I'm sitting there playing songs on TikTok live, and people come in, they request songs, I play the requests, and then they follow, and then they start engaging with my stuff, which is great. But it's so hard to like on TikTok live, people who do it fully do it for like 4 hours in one big chunk, and I don't have time to do the 4 hours in one chunk of playing songs and requests. So I do like an hour and a half, and then go to sleep. But it's I don't know. I've always been I'm very for social media, but equally very against it because it's too much. If you know what I mean. And I'm sure you get it with the podcast as well.
It's that. Are you planning on your tour to have like a filmography crew, or are you just going to do photos? Is there going to be short clips? Are you going to film the whole concert and clip it up? Is that part of your plan?
Well, I mean, I'm currently working with a new videographer. She's amazing, called Caitlin. She's from my home kind of town as such, or 10 minutes away from my hometown. And I've known her for years. She's worked with my brother and his band, and recently we've started working together way more. and she's kind of really captured the vibe of everything that we're kind of trying to go for. So we're trying to kind of rebrand the socials as such, using this new kind of found vibe, and we're going to try and do a lot of content, but it's got to be good content. So it's going to be, I mean, we're going to do days where we're together for the, however many hours, just getting videos for TikTok and videos for Instagram. But it's just so tricky to find the money and the time and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then also, do you think when you're going on tour, do you think that who you tour with is just as important as like putting out the music too? Because I just feel like who you tour with is going to be super, super important too. Are you touring with anybody?
I'm not sure at the moment. It might just be like just myself and my van and going to these different shows. But I 100% do agree. It's very important to have the right people around you. And I've met enough people who have been on tours and have said the same thing, that if someone's just not a good hang, then it just brings down the whole vibe of the tour or whatever they're doing. And even just at like one-off gigs, like I played a show recently where I played bass for an artist who came over from Switzerland, and we were playing a festival in Gloucestershire. We met in London, and we had different musicians that I'd never played with. I mean, my brother was on drums, so that was quite handy, and it was me on bass. And then we had other musicians who we'd never met, but we jumped in a room, rehearsed once. Then we drove in a van for 5 hours down to this festival, played this festival, drove 5 hours back, and that was all in one day. So a lot of spending time with people you never met, but it was a really nice vibe with everyone. We all got on. But if it's not, it just really can make just the whole thing a lot worse. And I've been at shows where even the sound guy has been a bit of just an idiot, and you don't really want to hang out with that person. So it's like, it's really important to be a good hang and to be around the right people even to be in the right headspace for a show as well.
Yeah, I think I've said that on this podcast before. One of the best skills you can have in life is just being a good hang. Being a good hang will get you farther than being talented in some certain aspects. Like
100%.
if you're just good at hanging out with people and having fun, people will just invite you to things, and then you end up in interesting positions.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. I mean, like I said, I've got hundreds of stories about people who are just knobs to work with, and I won't go into it too much.
Name them by name.
Yeah, exactly.
Why they're a knob.
By name, where they work, what they did,
social security number.
Yeah.
Exactly. All that.
To like bands who've toured the States, and like sometimes cities are so far apart, especially where me and Damien are from in the Midwest, where it's like it's like an 8-hour drive to the next closest like big city, and like and sometimes like it will be like maybe towards the end of the tour, and like you can just tell the band is so, even like the stage presence, when they're like just so sick of each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Spent so much time in a tiny van together that they're just done. And you sometimes hear about like bands breaking up because like the tour just destroyed them.
Well, that is the thing. I was about to say that touring can be the end of so many great bands, just because they can't spend another minute with each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure a lot of that, I mean, if you've had roommates in the past, could you imagine having a shitty roommate, but it's in a van or a tour bus where you have minimal space? You don't have your own space, like, and then you also work with your roommate. That sounds terrible.
Well, exactly. I mean, I had my mate from Devon came to stay at mine for like 4 days or whatever, and I love him to bits. He's great. He's one of my best mates. But spending 4 days with him in my flat, I couldn't do. It was just too much. I just having to host him, just too much for me. But I mean, it was lovely to see him, but 4 days too much. I'm happy with like one or 2 days. That's it.
Yeah, because people don't understand too. You're performing when people are around. Like, you're not just doing your own thing. You're kind of putting on a hosting act, and that's exhausting.
100%. It is. Yeah, putting on a bit of a show.
Yeah. And that's I think that's how Damien felt when I came to visit.
I couldn't get rid of him soon enough.
No, we've joked because everyone goes to visit Damien because he lives in one of the best cities in the world, and so I feel like he's always hosting people.
Yeah, yeah, it's a part-time job, almost a full-time job at this point. People from the
Yeah,
UK come and stay. People from the Midwest. People from the East Coast. Other
really.
parts of the West Coast. It's like seems like we generally have 4 to 5 guests a year at this point.
Excellent. Well, at least I know where to crash when I come over then.
Absolutely, anytime. We got a spare room for you.
Perfect. I can make your wife cry again, can't I? With,
Yeah, exactly.
with my songs.
You're gonna have to learn how to drive on the LA freeways, though.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's quite stressful.
On the other
Yeah,
side
I've
of the
heard
road,
that's
that's a good point.
I can't do that.
Nah, you've done London traffic. I think you can do LA.
London traffic is very stressful. I can't do it. I hate it. I hate driving in London.
Okay, then never mind about the whole LA.
Yeah, you're not gonna like LA traffic then.
No, I'm sure I won't.
So this is something that we've talked about with a couple of other UK artists as well,
Mhm.
and I know it's a very tricky situation especially with everything going on. But do you know the foundational information of what it would take to come to the US and put on a show? Like, is that something you're thinking about now, or is that way in the future?
That's for me. That's way in the future. It would cost me a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm quite keen to come over to Chicago because my uncle has been living there for a little bit, and he said I can crash at his. So if I can get a plane ticket, then I'm going to go and crash at his for a little bit. But it's just to come over and play music is a whole nother thing because of visas and whatever, working visas and all that kind of crap. But yeah, I'm
Actually,
gonna try.
I did on a question. So,
Go on.
could you come to the States to visit, but then play music and make money, or is that not allowed?
I've no idea. I think it's probably not allowed.
Why not?
Like, if he like didn't make income, he would be okay.
But what if it's all tips?
Well, yeah, if it's not reportable stuff. But now that we're
I
reporting it,
guess.
just say
Well,
no.
this is allegedly.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
yes.
This is all hypothetical.
I think the hard part would be getting the venue to say yes.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
finding a place,
I think-
but no, definitely would love Chicago. I want to say, again, with how big the states are, I'm like, oh yeah, Chicago's not that far away, but it's also an 8-hour drive. But that also just says how, like, Chicago's one of the closest major cities to where I live. But so I would,
Oh, really?
I would love.
That'd be
love
cool.
to. Can't
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
with like even going to like Ireland, since it's now like it's in the EU and separate from, like, can you go play in Ireland or even like France? Is that crazy to do?
I think Ireland, you probably still have to have like some sort of working visa. I've not gone over to Ireland yet. I'm really keen to. My brother, he was on tour with his band and he went over recently. I didn't care to ask him what the deal was with it, but I'm sure it was something quite stressful. I think
Just go
even
to
just
Northern
getting
Ireland, you'll be fine.
well, exactly. I think even just getting the gear over is the hard bit as well.
Yeah.
And then France. I'll be honest, I actually have no idea about any of it. I'm just gonna make it all up. But I'm sure it's the same as every other country for the UK now. It's just gonna be tricky to get into unless I get some sort of other citizenship.
Navigating all of that shit is so exhausting. Like, even the few things that Christian and I have looked into potentially doing in the future, and then you look at all the red tape that goes into it, you're like, how do people do this? I just can't imagine doing that. I guess that's why you hire people to do it for you, though.
Yeah, exactly. That is the thing. You see a lot of artists doing it independent, and they just get really stressed. I'm very easily stressed out anyway, so I don't think I could do that.
See, you just need to be like Joe from the Stranger Things show, where he does everything independent, but also has millions of dollars because he was on
Yeah, exactly.
Stranger Things.
Joe
I
Keery,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm a big fan of the End of Beginning song. I think it's a great tune. I think his vibe's quite cool, but I've not looked into him too much, to be fair. I need to probably have a little listen.
No, I just find it funny because he is independent. He's not with any like record label or anything,
Mm.
and he's like, oh yeah, go independent. But it's also like a little bit easier to say you're independent when you have something to fall back on.
100%.
You're
Yeah, I mean,
one of the most famous people in modern media.
yeah,
Pretty
exactly.
easy to self-fund your endeavors.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if I had enough, all that money, I'm sure I would be a bit higher up than I am right now. But I guess we'll have to, live in hope that I get the money.
Is it so? I know you went to like I've been joking with Damien because we were talking before you got on. Like you went to like a music high school, which is a weird
Yeah.
way to say that. And so, are most of your like classmates who you were in classes with also pursuing music as well? Like trying to make music their career?
Yeah, well, Meredith, who you had on, she we were in the
Mhm.
same year at college. I was, I mean, she left, she left early and then came back, and then I think left again. It was a bit weird. No, I got on with her really well. And I was in her year, and obviously she's kind of doing the more session musician thing. I think, as far as I'm aware. I'll be honest, I don't really keep up with a lot of people from my college. One person that I do is called Harry, and he's an absolute legend. He was one of my best friends at college, and he kind of is a man of very many talents. He was studying drums at college, but he has perfect pitch, and also plays trumpet and the flugelhorn and all sorts of different instruments. He on my first two songs, he recorded horns on them in a studio in London, and then I kind of we hadn't met up or for ages, but I had a headline show in my hometown. I messaged him about 2 weeks before saying, "Do you fancy coming to play horns on two songs?" And he was like, "Yeah, for sure."
Nice.
So he came down for that. It was nice to see him, and he's not pursuing music as such, like majorly, or not in the same way that I am. But I think he conducts like orchestras and like brass bands and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he's doing more conducting kind of stuff, and he also plays in like pantos and stuff like that. So it's very, very different to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But he's still kind of doing music, I guess. But everyone else from my college, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo as to where they are.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. And so, do you have like I don't want to say like a community of like DIY musicians that you like bounce ideas off of, or like just
Yeah, I mean,
collaborate?
I've got a lot of musicians that I'm good friends with on like social media. I'm very lucky that my hometown was quite musical, so I've got a lot of people from there. I've worked with the same producer, Colin, for the last year and a half or whatever, and he knows people who then we work with. I mean, it's a bit bizarre that my kind of very close community, like, I mean, I've got Colin, my producer, who is from London or from a place called Thetford, which I think is in Norfolk. He moved to London, but he's worked with loads of people from my hometown before he worked with me. So like before he worked with like kind of, anyone to do with me, he had worked with people from my hometown before, and then through somebody else had met my brother, who then connected me and him. It's a very weird, like, me and him were chatting about it, that he's worked with more people from my hometown than anywhere else in the world. Because he's just worked with
hometown hero.
so many, properly, but he's only been there once, so
That's hilarious.
it's
So
just
for
very
this-
bizarre.
He's doing favors for your hometown. That's for damn sure.
Exactly that, yeah.
So is there like an overarching theme to this EP, or I guess are we calling it EP or album?
EP, I guess. Me and Colin had this debate a couple of weeks ago. We were like, do we call it an EP or an album? I think we've decided on EP. The theme of it, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like change and growing up, and kind of it explores the themes that I was going throughout the year, I guess. Because some of the songs were written at the very start of the year. I was in a relationship. I was quite, having a great time. Getting towards the middle, that relationship ended, and it was like kind of more breakup-y songs. Then towards the end, I was looking back on when I was younger and all sorts of things, and looking into the future as well. So I guess it really explores the changes in my writing, the changes in my life over 2025, I guess.
Okay,
Nice.
so you experienced a lot of changes throughout the year, and that's kind of the overarching theme.
Yeah.
But throughout those experiential changes, did you find yourself changing along the way? Does that have anything to do with the theme? Like you as a
Yeah,
person
I mean,
changing?
I've become way more laid back. I think. I mean, I'm a very stressed person, but I'm way more laid back than what I was in January. Like January, I was very much like, I need to know when things are going to happen, what's going to happen, all that kind of stuff. But I'm a little bit more kind of as it comes now, which is good. And been working full time for the last year in a job in a school. So I guess even working in a school with all these annoying kids has has helped me a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, I moved from I moved to a new place to live by myself in October. So I've been living by myself since October, which even that's quite a shift. Trying to get used to that and coming home to just myself playing my guitar and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I've definitely changed as a person, but how I've changed, I've no idea.
Yeah, because again, we mentioned kind of your age, and like you're definitely. I'll speak for myself of being like from turning like 18 to 19, especially like me leaving my hometown to go to university, even though it wasn't that far away. You do change a lot leaving your hometown, kind of like what you did, and you grow a lot just because, kind of like what me and kind of big theme about this podcast. I'll tie it back to the podcast because since we rarely do, me and Damon rarely do, of like when you leave your hometown, you, especially on your own, kind of like what you did, and you mentioned living by yourself, like you learn so much about yourself, like you grow so much as a person, and so like it's kind of cool. You got to have, like, me and Damien, of course, have our memories, but you have something you can show to people a little bit to be like, hey, this is a new kind of like what I went through.
And you have things that you can show people that won't get you in trouble, because if we were recording and you know, taking photographic evidence of the things we were doing, we probably would have been in trouble back in the day. You just have great music to showcase. We had stupid activities.
Other than my music, my life is very boring. I quite literally come home and cook quite bad food. My weekends are spent sitting writing songs. I don't do any of that, you know, stupid stuff, which I probably should. I probably should be a bit younger at times. I don't know. I mean, I've done plenty of stupid stuff, but it's more when I go out and drink too much, and then usually when I'm in my hometown, actually drinking too much with my mates, and then sending funny videos, shouting. All of our
and pictures at 19 would have like red Solo cups in them.
Yeah, there's a lot of photos of me probably with too many alcoholic beverages. I mean, there was one time over the summer where I went out and had a bit too much to drink, and the next day I went into a different pub, and some guy just kind of went to me, "Oh, you're the guy who was really loud in the other pub yesterday and singing some really bad songs." I was like, oh, "Great, thanks. I've now been recognised for being really drunk and really loud in my hometown, so that's great."
Hey, all press is good press.
I was about to say, you're preaching to the choir of drinking and maybe being too loud.
Yeah,
that's how we started this podcast.
I mean, I think being loud when you're drinking is the best way to go.
In the keeping on the theme of the change and the new album and all these new ventures that are coming up, we're getting kind of towards the end. It's also been, I'm hoping that this quality comes out good, because it's been a little choppy here and there.
Yeah.
So I want to keep momentum, but I also want to start thinking about how we can wrap it up given the breaks in discussion. But keeping on the change route and all of this stuff, what are you looking forward to the most in 2026 as an artist?
I guess it'll be playing more shows. I haven't done a lot, so playing shows is definitely the thing I'm looking forward to most. I've got a lot more new songs that I'm writing. I've got a lot of projects that I'm working on. But yeah, I think the main thing is getting out in front of real people, and putting all my energy into my music for a bit is the. Oh, am I gone or am I here? Am I still here?
You're back. You're back.
Yeah,
it was a little longer pause than usual, and so that's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, now you're back. Yeah, we caught that.
Perfect.
Kind of along those lines. You mentioned like about what you're excited for, and so wrapping up kind of question. You said you're moving back to your hometown. What's one thing you're excited for moving back or looking forward to, and then is there anything you're worried about moving back?
Question. I mean, hopefully having better Wi-Fi will be a good thing. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting back to the kind of community down there, because everyone knows everyone. It's very nice. It's quite a creative community, and being able to have a bit more of a space to write my songs and do kind of a bit more creative stuff will be really nice. But equally, I'm moving then, 5-6 hours away from London, which will be just a bit more annoying when I want to play shows and do all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm seeing it as a bit of a progression step as opposed to a step backwards. Even though we'll be further away from everything.
Yeah. But yeah, also, because I'm guessing, are you moving back in with your family?
Yeah, back in with my parents. I'm sure they're looking forward to it loads.
Oh, I bet they are. Also, yeah, probably no rent will be not having to pay London Metro or just that side of England rent is going to be very nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice to
Especially
save a bit of
for
money.
your year-long sabbatical.
Yeah, exactly. Saving a bit of money is definitely going to be key, I think.
Awesome.
And you're going to be touring so much, you're never going to be there. So that's
exactly.
Well, yeah, that's the bonus. I think that's the only reason they've said yes to me coming back.
Because they're like, oh, he's not going to be here that often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, if your parents are anything like my mom, they want you to move back permanently, and you are not allowed to go on tour.
Yeah,
you
I
have
think.
to stay there.
I don't know. I think my parents are quite. I mean, my brother's been on many tours, so I think they'll be all right with me going. So I think it's all right.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna try to wrap it up here. I want to make sure to be. I want to end this on a real note, because if we can save it, I want this to be a great episode. So thank you for coming on. Is there any new song or any unreleased song that you're looking to promote, or anything that you're looking to promote while you're here?
Yeah, or when does the EP come out?
Or when does it come out, or anything like that? Plug anything that you want, and then we'll get you out of here.
The EP will be out towards the middle of the year. No exact date yet, but towards the middle of the year, there's a new EP coming out. It'll be called Change. Is the name of the EP. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on my socials at Luke McAuley Music, and hopefully I'll see you guys at some sort of show or some sort of social media thing at some point.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming on, Luke. I want to get you back on when the Wi-Fi is a little bit better, and we can debrief how the tour is going. Maybe we could do like something from the road or something like that. Would be fun.
100%.
See what van life is like for an artist who's going all the way with it. So let's keep in touch, and let's get you back on sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right. And as always, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and bye.
Bye.